This is the biggest media scandal to have hit the world. Rupert Murdoch dominated the world as a media giant. Are the days of Murdoch's domination now over? That's the centre stage face-off for this evening. Joining us on the show from London, Lord Meghnad Desai, member of UK Parliament's House of Lords. With us also is Farooq Dondi, well-known columnist, author, TV producer. With me in the studio, I want to begin by introducing John Elliott. He's a senior British journalist, writes a blog, Riding the Elephant. Bharat Bhushan, editor, Mail Today. Nalini Singh, one of India's best-known political commentators. Also with us, Akhila Sivadas. She's an executive director at the Centre for Advocacy and Research, is a media critic and looks at the media very, very closely. I want to begin by asking Lord Desai whether he believes the days of Murdoch's domination are over. Can Rupert Murdoch ever rise from this fall, Lord Desai?
Of course. You know, as Rupert Murdoch pointed out, News of the World is 1% of his total business. And as it is, newspaper business is a loss-making business. He really makes his money from TV channels across the world. I think, you know, what yesterday's hearing showed was Rupert Murdoch is clever enough to ride over these parliamentary committees, and he'll be all right. If you notice, on the New York Stock Exchange, his stock went up after he finished performing before the parliamentary committee. So I think this is just a flash in the pan. Yes, there will be lots more money to pay, lots more scandal coming out, but I think Rupert Murdoch will survive. He's a great survivor.
John Elliott, is this just one more crisis that Murdoch faces, or is this a crisis that threatens the future of his group?
I don't think it threatens the future of his group, and nor do I think one should over-interpret what's been happening in New York in the last 24 hours. Clearly people want to project the share price there, and the fact that it's being talked up quite effectively does not mean that Murdoch himself is safe. He's 80, he should be retiring soon anyway. I guess he will be eased aside in some way or other with great dignity, and a non-family executive will step in with more authority, and I suspect, and hooray for this, is probably the end of the dynasty at the top of that family, at the top of that firm. There was an assumption that the family would inevitably continue. I think that assumption can no longer now be taken. An end of any dynasty must be a good thing, surely.
The crucial question also, Farooq Dondi, is whether the evil ways of Rupert Murdoch, phone hacking, all these sting operations, some of which were executed using dubious means, can we now assume, or can we now say that those days are over?
I don't think so at all. Phone hacking has been going on for years, and not only in the News of the World, it goes on all the time with most newspapers and most tabloids, certainly. And the British public really weren't much exercised about it when phone hacking produced news about somebody's sex or somebody's extracurricular activities. They only began to get sentimental about it when the victim, a young victim of a murder, her phone, Millie Dowler's phone, was hacked. And that's what the politicians are taking account of. Before the news about Millie Dowler's phone hacking came out, Cameron, Ed Miliband, everybody was, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair, they were quite content to go to Murdoch's parties, to invite Rebecca Wade, his editor, to their parties, to attend her wedding, to call her to dinner, to be seen horse riding with her. There was a good pally relationship between them. I don't think that there will be tighter rules. But I don't think that the world, will see the end of hacking. Phones are there to be hacked, as it were, just as rules are there to be broken. And on your first question, I think that the Murdoch empire will be in real trouble if the Foreign Corruptions Act of America begins to come into action. Because the Americans are pretty relentless about what they will do. They are not used to British botch and compromise.